Have you seen the hashtag Foodies Filling Pantries on TikTok or Instagram? It's an effort started by Gabrielle Gonzalez. She's better known as Siempre San Antonio on social media.
We have a platform. That's another thing. We have a platform, and we should be using our platform for the good of our community. So I decided, let me do a little challenge and get my foodie friends involved. I put it out there and I challenged some of my foodie friends, and now people are challenging each other.
Food influencers will tag each other on social media with the hashtag Foodies Filling Pantries. It challenges them to go to the store, fill up a grocery cart, and then take those items to fill up a food pantry.
And thanks to her list, I was able to find a pantry near my home, and I went and I filled up the pantry.
So we decided to drive to a few of these different local food pantries across San Antonio to figure out exactly what's needed so that anyone who wants to participate in this hashtag and fill up these pantries can do just that.
People would take it upon themselves to organize, to bring things, and to fill the pantry, and it's just the best feeling to know that that's how people from San Antonio are.
But the need for food has been overwhelming these last few weeks. SNAP benefits were not arriving on time, and federal employees were not getting paid.
And folks will sometimes put out calls, especially during the holidays, or especially when they hear about like the shutdown, knowing that folks are going to not have their SNAP benefits.
And what we started to notice is empty pantry after empty pantry after empty pantry. That is until we got here to the Harlandale Sunshine Pantry on Drury Lane in the south side, and we finally start to see some canned goods, some boxed goods, anything shelf stable, but it's still not completely full, and that's when this hashtag comes in to rescue those in need.
This is starting with the foodies and our content creator community, but I want everybody to know that they're able to get involved as well.
So after all of our interviews, I went over to a local store, picked up a few canned items that are easy to open, and brought them over to our local pantry. And it only took a few minutes of our time.
So I think it's really cool for folks to use their influence to bring attention and to get people fed.
Zaria Oates, KSAT 12 News.
Well, meanwhile, local businesses also continue to step up and help feed our San Antonio families. So Oya Express Cafe downtown has been providing free breakfast to those hurting during this government shutdown. So Andrea Lea told us that they've helped nearly 45,000 people so far.
We are receiving the donations little by little, so we encourage everyone to donate. Even if it's $1 or less than that, anything helps, any amount helps.
Well, the meals are available to anyone who needs breakfast. All you have to do is request the SNAP breakfast, and baristas will know how to assist you.
A gorgeous day in San Antonio, one of those days where you can open up the windows and you don't have to worry about bad allergies as well. So yeah, go ahead and open up those windows. In the pollen count, the only allergen we have is molds. And molds are low. They're only at 340 today. As we take a look at the aquifer is down half a foot over the last 24 hours. We do, however, have an opportunity for rain. We have to wait until the weekend, and right now it stands at about 30% chance, particularly Saturday night. I'll be back to talk about the latest in just a bit.
Well, this morning, a line of cars nearly a mile long waited for food distributions over in Kerrville. So Light on the Hill Country says the need has been growing in this community from the July 4th floods that have left a lot of neighbors out of work with new expenses, and with this government shutdown affecting SNAP benefits. Some people have started lining up even at midnight to receive the food here this Monday morning. So the organization is supported by the San Antonio Food Bank and several volunteers who work to make it happen for the hundreds of families who need food.
It is very, very helpful. There's a lot of us that really need help, and this is usually what helps us out when we can't, get food or another way of getting something. What I've seen, there's still like 100 and something people that show up every Monday.
So we're told that multiple churches and nonprofits in the area, they are working to coordinate food distribution so anyone can get what they need any day of the week. Well, beloved Kerr County Summer Camp getting a new beginning here. Heart of the Hills, a longtime girls camp, is reopening under new ownership. So after the loss of former director Jane Ragsdale, who was among the 119 people killed in the Hill Country floods, new owners Elizabeth and John Hay are building a new 70-acre site along the North Fork of the Guadalupe River in Hunt. This is just 7 miles from the original location. So registration for the 2026 season is open, but the camp right now isn't taking deposits just yet.
All right, Steph, so a beautiful day here in San Antonio, really gorgeous. See, you're wearing some sweater weather.
From earlier, yeah.
Of course, and even now, temperatures are in the 50s. We still want that light jacket, but over the next couple of hours, we're going to be seeing temperatures climb into the 60s. Still cool and still much cooler than average by about 10 degrees. 64 for the high today in San Antonio. And with calm winds, clear skies, we are going to cool down very quickly tonight. In fact, by 8 o'clock, we'll already be at 50. So if you have Monday night plans, maybe your kids have practice, those kinds of things, you're going to want to bring that light jacket with you because by 9, 10 o'clock, we'll be in the 40s, 44 by midnight. So a cold evening on deck for us. And by tomorrow morning, we'll be waking up in the upper 30s around San Antonio. So no freeze for the Alamo City. That is important to note. However, if you go up into the hill country near Bernie, Bulverde, Kerrville, and outside of the city center toward Uvalde, Sabinal, temperatures may briefly touch freezing before sunrise tomorrow. This is not the kind of freeze where you need to cover the pipes or those kinds of things. Really just for sensitive vegetation, you might consider bringing in some of those potted plants or covering them up if you live in the hill country and outside of the city of San Antonio. Again, here in San Antonio, we are not going to see a freeze. That being said, if we hit 38, that will be our coldest morning since February 23rd, 260 days ago. So again, a cold start. You'll want the jacket in the morning hours. And after that, though, we are going to see a steady warm up. By tomorrow afternoon in the 70s, by Wednesday, upper 40s, and temperatures on Wednesday in the afternoon are already going to be near 80 degrees. And by Thursday and Friday, you won't want a jacket at all. It's going to be a warm one on Thursday and Friday. So we go from about 10 degrees below average to about 10 degrees above average in the span of just a couple of days. That is Texas fall for you. Now, that being said, tomorrow is Veterans Day. Again, we want to thank and honor all of those who have served our nation. A beautiful day for Veterans Day. We're going to quickly warm from the 30s to the 70s under abundant sunshine. That being said, those American flags will be a-waving tomorrow because we're going to have gusty winds up to 25 miles per hour from the south. And because we've got such dry conditions out there, we expect any fires that develop could spread rapidly. And so there is a red flag warning tomorrow. There was one yesterday on Sunday, and there's another one tomorrow from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. for the risk of wildfire danger. So again, avoid any kind of burning. We're already under burn bans, but still we should be very cautious, and we need to dispose cigarettes properly. Those are the two biggest ways that we can avoid creating and spreading grass fires. So dry tomorrow. By Wednesday, Thursday, we'll see a little bit more humidity out there, so much so that I think we might have some morning fog on Wednesday and Thursday, and by Saturday, it'll be downright muggy. Speaking of Saturday and Saturday night, a big low pressure system is going to be moving across the United States. There are still a lot of questions with this low pressure system, particularly on its placement. But as it stands right now, the forecast models are indicating that we could have a decent placement of this low to allow for at least some storms Saturday night into Sunday. We have to wait and see, though, because if this low is too far to the north, we're not going to see anything as in San Antonio. So we'll have to wait and see. But as it stands right now, we've got about a 30% chance for storms Saturday night into Sunday morning. And then a cool front's going to move through, and that'll allow for more comfortable weather on a Sunday. But it is important to note that this forecast needs some time because, again, it all depends on where that low goes for us to see storms.
All right, well, we'll watch out for it. Thank you, Sarah. We'll honor our heroes this holiday season, so you can join San Antonio National Cemetery to place wreaths on 162,000 veterans' graves. How you can sponsor a wreath or volunteer for the special tradition. Plus, San Antonio businesses are saying thank you with free meals, haircuts, and a lot more. You can stick around to find out where you can cash in on these special deals.
Monday on the news at 6.
This is the first time I've gotten out and walked right here.
Nothing like this has ever happened to you before.
No.
A man's life saved.
And I fell backwards.
Thanks in part to strangers.
A couple was walking down the street.
So you didn't remember those 2 minutes?
Those 2 minutes I do not remember. And I was standing with my eyes wide open.
An effort to find his helpers.
That's part of why you wanted to do this interview.
And share what he knows now.
7 days in the hospital changes your life.
It's Monday on the news at 6.
Well, we look forward to that story. And Thanksgiving, again, just a few weeks away, and many families are wondering, can we afford everything for the celebration? Well, luckily there are some deals out there and discounts to help you get your holiday bird without breaking the bank. So Walmart is actually offering a meal deal that includes turkey, stuffing, sides, and dessert for just $40. So this is designed to actually feed a family of 10. Amazon is boasting a deal to feed a family of 5 for $25, including the turkey, the mashed potatoes, green bean casserole. And for a family of 4, Target is offering a full meal for under $20. So right now on KSAT.com, you can find more details and deals. Just search Thanksgiving. Well, Veterans Day again tomorrow, a day to honor the men and women who have served and continue to serve in the U.S. military. So several businesses around San Antonio are saying thank you with some discounts and freebies for veterans and active duty military. So here are some of them. At Texas Roadhouse, this is tomorrow between the hours of 11 a.m. and 2 p.m., veterans and active military can pick up a free meal voucher. And at Denny's, they are offering a free original Grand Slam from 5 a.m. to noon. This is at participating locations. Dave & Buster's is giving veterans and active military a free entree plus a $10 power card. Also, Great Clips offering a free haircut or a free haircut card for a future visit, just in case you don't have time that day, at participating locations. So a full list of all these discounts and the freebies, you can head over to our website at KSAT.com. Fort Sam Houston National Cemetery is rallying our community to place remembrance wreaths on 162,000 veterans' graves this December. This is for Wreaths Across America. So for just $17, you can join this proud tradition and support local veteran groups. You can sponsor a wreath in honor or in memory of a loved one who served, or sponsor and let organizers designate a recipient among the millions resting in honored glory. So laying of the wreaths will take place on December 13th, and of course they'd love to have you volunteer for that as well. We have all of these details on KSATcommunity.com.
Y'all okay if we stay a little? Coming up here in just a little bit, we're out here at the 410 location of Pinstack, and you can see the San Antonio Food Bank truck is right here. We are loading up goods. People are donating out here, and we have so much more information coming up right here on KSAT 12.
Well, today is the day, and we've been checking in with our David Elder all morning long for the Fill the Truck event. So KSAT Community, RBFCU, and University Health are teaming up with San Antonio Food Bank and Meals on Wheels SA for this event. And you can help. So David Elder and the Texas Eats team is live at Pinstack off of Northwest Loop 410 to show this how this all works and what you can get for helping out today.
Hey, what's going on? Yes, we are out here at the Pinstack off 410. We've been here since 5 a.m. We will be here until 7 p.m. collecting donations. So much food, so many items have already come in today. But right now, we have a very special moment. We're going to introduce a lot of great people right now. We have the KSAT team here off on the side. We got Mike, Ashley Parker, Nate Mills, right here in the middle of the Randolph Brooks Federal Credit Union executive team. They're also a KSAT community partner, and they have a check right now for the San Antonio Food Bank. We also have the Meals on Wheels team, and then right here joining us, the San Antonio Food Bank team and President and CEO Eric Cooper. Thank you so much for being out here with us. Now, what does this check mean for you guys in the community? What kind of resources can you get from it, and especially from the donations that you've received today?
Well, first, we want to thank RBFCU for this incredible support.
Yeah, there you go.
Their team. But when you think about $25,000, that turns into about 250,000 pounds of food.
Wow.
That truck over there'd be about 12 of those. So it goes a long way in helping us set the table for families in need. But knowing that you all have our back in this time of unprecedented demand. We're seeing so many federal workers, government contractors, those that have been impacted by SNAP. Thanksgiving's around the corner, and those uncertain needs will be met with support that comes from the community. So thank you all. Thank you, San Antonio, for stepping up. We're so humbled, and we'll continue to do what we can to make sure no one goes hungry in South Texas.
My goodness. Thank you so much, you guys. To Randolph Brooks Federal Credit Union, what a huge gift. Thank you so much. Now, today, I also want to say thank you to all of San Antonio. You guys have really shown up today. I mean, look at those bins over there already filled up. We have some barrels filled up as well. And we have so many gifts and items that have also been given out as a thank you to everybody coming through, thanks to Pinstack. So a big thank you to them. Now, you guys, we can't do this without everybody here in San Antonio. The teams like this that are making it possible. Thank you to everyone. You guys give yourselves a round of applause. This is huge. Now, we will be out here at the Pinstack off 410 until 7 p.m. this evening. You can come out. Give whatever you can. It can be one can. It can be one item. That can make a huge impact on a family's life this holiday season. And, of course, if you come out here and you give a little bit extra, we do have some bigger prizes we're giving out on behalf of Pinstack. So thank you so much, San Antonio. We will be out here. We'll be checking in with you right here on KSAT. Follow us on social media. And, of course, check in with us. We'll be doing live hits, all kinds of things. And you can also go to safoodbank.org. You can also go to the Meals on Wheels website as well to give. And make sure you check out KSAT.com. We have so much more information on there. We'll send it back to the studio, but I tell you what, it is the season of giving right now. And yo, this is a lot of giving right now, right? This is huge.
Thank you, David. Good to see everybody out there, all the volunteers as well, and perfect weather, right?
Beautiful weather. Puts you in a good mood to see the giving spirit and the gorgeous weather. Temperatures are already only in the 50s. It's hard to believe that we are some 20 degrees cooler than we were just a day ago. Again, we are warming up, totally sunny around San Antonio and around the state of Texas. There are some high thin cirrus clouds moving in from the north, so that'll be interesting to see if we see those by sunset. But generally, as I mentioned, it's not all that much warmer out there than how we started the day. It's only 58 degrees in San Antonio, 51 in Dallas, it's 63 in Del Rio, Brownsville, RGV close to 70 degrees right now. That is very typical for them this time of year. As for our highs, we'll be reaching 64, kind of our coolest day in quite some time in San Antonio. 61 in Kerrville, 65 in Uvalde, 64 in New Braunfels. You can leave the windows open today. No need for the air conditioning. Although you might want to turn on the heat tonight because we expect temperatures to fall to the 30s by tomorrow morning. And then we're going to gradually warm up very quick. As quickly as we cool down, we're going to warm right back up. So we go from about 10 degrees below average to about 10 degrees above average by the end of the week. And with that next front comes the potential for some storms Saturday night. I'll have those details in just a bit. Steph.
Thank you.
Governor Abbott in his State of the State address talked about protecting, the water supplies of rural counties. Well, TCEQ is not doing that.
Well, a battle is underway to stop 1,100 new homes from being built in Comfort. So residents are worried about how this development could affect their water supply. They say the agency tasked with protecting that water isn't doing enough. So our Patty Santos went out there to talk to everybody about their fight to the next level.
Somebody needs to tell them that their job is to protect the water of the people of Texas, not just to rubber stamp whatever comes in. And I would hope somehow the Governor Abbott gets that.
That's Roy Dye. He's the co-chair of the Comfort Neighbors Group that's fighting the Comfort 590 development. TCEQ is in charge of protecting public health and natural resources by regulating air, water, and waste. But weeks after the commission approved a wastewater treatment plant in Great Forest, Comfort is on high alert, trying to prevent the same thing from happening there.
Your job is not to say yes to everything.
Lennar Home is working to get the green light for the wastewater plant to support a proposed 1,100 housing development along Highway 87. The plant would dump 600,000 gallons of treated wastewater into North Creek, eventually winding up in Canyon Lake. It's part of why Kendall County Commissioner Chad Carpenter is joining the fight.
Why would we want that in our drinking water? Why would we set ourselves up for that, or even aquifer issues?
On top of the health concerns, there's a water shortage in the area. The Trinity Aquifer is nearing stage 4 drought.
It's about build, baby, build. Let's just build as much as we can. Let's welcome anyone to our area, and let's overcrowd our water system and to the point where you turn your water faucet on and you don't have water.
There's also concerns about an active pipeline that runs in the middle of the property where hundreds of families would live.
Patty Santos, KSAT 12 News.
Well, the neighbors are saying the only way to protect their rights is by pushing for legislative changes, and they want counties to have more power to oversee developments like this and to change how TCEQ operates. So right now, they're working on trying to make that happen. Meanwhile, Texas Governor Greg Abbott says he plans to run for re-election. Abbott will seek his 4th term next year, and the 67-year-old made his announcement at a golf course in Houston over the weekend. He described Texas as a heartbeat of America and says the Texas economy is growing twice as fast as the U.S. economy. So Abbott has been a staunch supporter of President Donald Trump and has supported his immigration enforcement operations as well. Service animals playing an important role in keeping people alive, and that's exactly what one service dog did for his owner. Coming up, we're going to introduce you to Tommy, the yellow lab, and Hank to tell you about what makes Tommy so special. And a federal court just ruled that the Trump administration must pay full food stamp benefits this month. What this means for millions and what's next in the legal battle. Well, Sunday, a federal appeals court ruled that the Trump administration must pay full food stamp benefits for tens of millions of Americans this November. So this is the latest in a series of legal battles over the administration's effort to provide only partial funding for food stamps, officially known as the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP. So last Thursday, a U.S. district judge ordered that full November SNAP benefits are to be released by the end of Friday. However, on Friday, the administration asked the appeals court to cancel that order. When the court said no, the administration turned to the Supreme Court for help. Now, Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson temporarily paused that order, but Sunday's appeals court ruling sets up another round of legal fighting before the Supreme Court.
All right, the aquifer is down a half a foot over the last 24 hours because we are just not seeing any major rain around San Antonio. It is beautiful outside, though, but we are nearly 40 feet below the monthly average. In the pollen count, the only allergen out there are molds, and molds are low, thank goodness. Just a reminder that dreaded mountain cedar season is just around the corner. We're enjoying a little bit of a break, but mountain cedar season usually starts in December, peaks in January, and ends in February. Either way, some rain would be good to help clear out the allergens. We have a small chance for some storms coming up over the weekend. Details soon.
One day before Veterans Day, and we are celebrating the U.S. Marine Corps' 250th birthday, and one very special Marine getting to celebrate this milestone thanks to a very special companion. Here's ABC's Danny New.
When Marine and U.S. Army veteran Hank Ford enters a room, his service dog Tommy can usually help him relax from old habits.
It used to be I'd walk into a place and I'm looking for exits. I'm watching everybody. I'm just not trusting anything that's going on. And with him, all that seems to have gone away.
However, the Colorado native might only be alive today because of something Tommy did earlier this year when Hank was not even awake.
That morning, I guess I wasn't getting up, and he just went into a panic.
Hank received Tommy 2 years ago from a nonprofit called Dogs, Inc., and usually, as he was trained to do, Tommy wakes him up every day around 7 a.m. But this one morning in February, the now 3-year-old yellow lab woke Hank up way earlier and almost seemed to be trying to tell him exactly why.
He was hitting me in the chest. He wasn't coming up to my face. He was literally hitting me in the chest.
That's so wild.
Feeling kind of off, Hank then drove himself to the hospital only to find out he was in what's called AFib with an irregular rapid heartbeat. As the doctor put it, if Tommy did not start barking and pulling on him,
you probably wouldn't have woken up or you would have had a massive stroke.
Staying overnight, Hank would eventually undergo shock treatment in the morning. But before that, guess who would not leave his side?
He just laid there with his nose looking right at me and just stared at me for hours.
9 months later, after also undergoing a cardiac ablation and going on medication, Hank says he is feeling way better now.
All right, Tommy.
These days, Tommy rides shotgun while Hank works his part-time job as a golf course marshal.
It's my golf ball, Tommy.
And will use that very impressive nose to help Dad find golf balls or whatever else he may need.
How much has Tommy changed your life?
Night and day. Night and day. Everybody that knows me, they're just like, they can't believe the difference in me.
Again, that organization is called Dogs, Inc. And in addition to providing service dogs to veterans, they also provide guide dogs to people with visual impairments. And starting in 2026, they will also provide dogs who can detect changes in blood sugar for people with type 1 diabetes. In New York, for ABC News, I'm Daniel New.
Dogs are amazing. We don't
Yeah,
deserve dogs. They're so
know.
awesome.
I love the ending picture in that story where he's just looking up at him like, oh.
So precious.
Yes, very
Great
much so.
weather. I just actually saw a picture on Justin's Instagram. He took his dog on a hike today. Penny. Great weather to do that because it is beautiful outside, totally sunny, and temperatures are only going to be in the 60s this afternoon. Love it. That's right. 64 for the high temperature in San Antonio this afternoon. We will see the sunset around 5:40, and right after sunset, it's going to get chilly quickly. So if you have Monday night plans, maybe practices with the kids or things like that, you're going to want to make sure that everybody has a jacket tonight because it will quickly get chilly. I mean, by 8, we're already going to be starting to get into the 40s, and by midnight, we'll be in the mid 40s. So it is going to be a chilly evening, totally clear. The combination of clear skies and calm winds means that all of the warmth that we've accumulated throughout the day can escape back out into space. And so that means that we cool quickly. And so by tomorrow morning, we'll be waking up at 38 degrees in San Antonio. It will be briefly freezing in areas like Kerrville and Uvalde, but a widespread freeze is not expected. That being said, I want to show you some of these neighborhood morning lows tomorrow. Some areas that could briefly experience freezing include Bernie, Bulverde, Bandera, Comfort, Sabinal, Uvalde. These areas could briefly touch freezing, but around San Antonio, it is going to be above freezing, but it will be cold. In fact, this will be our coldest morning tomorrow if we hit 38 degrees since February 23rd, 260 days ago. We've had a lot of warmth in between then, so it is nice to see a little bit of a change. Now again, cold tomorrow. Veterans Day is going to start off with the jackets, but by the afternoon, 72 and totally sunny. The one thing to keep in mind is that it is going to be very windy. We will see winds gusting up to about 25 miles per hour, 30 miles per hour at times in some locations. And so the combination of dry, gusty winds means that we have elevated fire danger, not only here in San Antonio, but across the state of Texas, in the Hill Country, and particularly in North Texas. There is a red flag warning in effect for San Antonio and the surrounding areas from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. tomorrow, because any fires that develop could spread rapidly. So no burning and disposing of cigarettes properly, kind of like what we've had to be dealing with the last couple of days. We had a red flag warning yesterday as well. Now, as we look at rain chances, there is the opportunity for us to see some storms, particularly over the weekend and mainly on Saturday night. But I do have to issue some caution here. We're still well away from the weekend, and the chance for rain all depends on the location of this low pressure system. Right now, we have this low pressure system putting itself in a position that would allow for us to see some storms Saturday night into Sunday morning. But if this low ends up being a little bit more to the north, then we would be completely dry. And that low hasn't even formed yet. So we have to wait and see exactly when we see our storm chances. For now, though, I'm putting us at about a 30% chance Saturday into Sunday for some storms. And if we do get storms, they could be strong. We're in fall weather severe season. We have a severe season in the spring, and then we often have one in the fall. And so we're going to have to wait and see about that storm potential Saturday night into Sunday.
We will be watching closely. Thank you, Sarah. Well, the government shutdown coming to an end soon after a funding bill got the green light. The steps, though, it has to go through to become official. Well, a breakthrough may be on the horizon to end the government shutdown. 8 Senate Democrats have joined Republicans to push for a funding bill that could reopen the government. So it is now day 41 of the shutdown, and there are still several steps before it's over. ABC's Perry Russum has the latest from Washington.
After weeks of voting to keep the government shut down, fighting for lower health care insurance premiums,
the motion upon reconsideration is agreed to.
8 members of the Senate Democratic Caucus caving.
This was the only deal on the table.
Voting with Republicans to advance a bill that would reopen the government.
How do you explain, though, to your constituents why it was worth it to put up this fight for so long when in the end you did not get your key demand?
Because it wasn't working.
The Senate back in session today working on advancing the funding bill after reaching a deal to fund the government through the end of January. The deal also funds SNAP benefits for months, reverses the shutdown firings of federal workers, and guarantees back pay for those who were furloughed. The 8 senators abandoning their primary demand, extending subsidies tied to the Affordable Care Act. The Democratic caucus now divided.
If this vote succeeds, over 20 million Americans are going to see at least a doubling in their premiums in the Affordable Care Act.
As a part of the deal, sources say Democrats secured a vote on health care subsidies in the coming weeks, but there's no guarantee that vote will happen.
We have always been open to finding solutions to reduce the oppressive costs of health care under the Unaffordable Care Act. We just made clear that we would not and should not ever do that. That is, negotiate as hostages.
So here's the timing on all of this. If and when the Senate passes their version of the funding bill, then goes to the House for them to vote, and then President Trump signs it into law. Perry Russum, ABC News, Washington.